All right, next up on the show is Emad Guirguis, a bookkeeping expert and the owner of Simply Bookkeeping. So, Emad, welcome back to the show.
Thanks again, Marc. Always a pleasure.
Looking spiffy.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so
that shirt.
year's end bookkeeping coming up.
Oh, that's
so
right.
So, what's your insight there?
Oh, be prepared, right?
Yeah.
All right. So our whole thing today is we're getting closer to Q4. And it's a great time to, if you haven't started doing bookkeeping on your business or you have no idea what your business finances are, right now is a great time to start before it's too late, right? And too late is always what? On time, right? And that's,
I guess it is in the bookkeeping world.
Yeah. And so we don't want to wait until December or so, you know. If you're a business that has contractors or so, you want to make sure that you have all those values up to date with your contractors so you can send out those 1099s in January. You also want to look at the business side of things and see how you've done as a business for this year so that you can plan and do better for next year, right? So that's there's a lot of factors there that go into year end there.
Okay, what about goal setting, right? Because when do we start planning our goals?
Before
the next year.
The year starts, right?
Yeah.
So it's a great practice to always evaluate a year before the current year, and then you can forecast and predict what you would like to set your goals for the following year. So right now we're in August, about to be September. You've got about 8 months worth of data. Take that and see how you've been doing, where your strong points are, what strong months are, and then your products as well. If you're a product-based company, you want to also have a look into that as well. Compare it with last year, see if there was a growth, why that was, and then how it can play into the following year.
Do you have those meetings one-on-one with your clients to get those ahas from their data, or they're just reading it on their own?
No. So yes, towards the end of the year, we usually like to do at least quarterly meetings with our clients just to see how they're doing. But usually the last quarter meeting is the most important, just to kind of summarize everything and show them how everything came to play, whether they did hit their goals, if they missed it, what was the cause, how can we make it better, and how can we forecast for a better future for the following year.
Yeah,
so
I know our
those
meetings,
are always one-on-ones to answer your question.
We set ours with you, right? It's in November?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right, but what kind of goals are we worried about even setting? Is it just money goals? Is it staffing goals? What kind of things do you guys talk about goal-wise?
Absolutely. So depending on the business itself, let's say it's a service-based business, we want to look at, okay, one, how many customers they want to take in or they want to achieve more, what their dollar amount set goal is, of course, and also what products they would like to put into play, or if there's any products that they want to erase as well. So those are kind of part of the goal setting. So that's kind of how we look at all that.
So could I interchange service for product when you say what kind of products you want to put into place? Because I was going to ask a question on so if I'm like, well, I want to roll out service X, right? What kind of things would we be looking at? Can I afford that? Can I staff it? I mean, what are we talking about with respect to launching a new service?
Absolutely. So we would look at what the root cause is, why you're choosing a new service, right? And then how it would play into your business. Then if it's adding value, then we can look at, okay, if we put it into play, let's play it out. Let's say, okay, you're going to put in this new service. Let's have a look at the next 3 months and see how that service is doing. Now, typically, if you're evaluating a new service, it usually takes about 3 to 6 months to actually start seeing some traction. But we still want to set a whole year's plan to see how it actually plays over that year.
I can see there's some business coaching overlapping there as well, just because I've experienced that. I haven't gone through one of your quarterly reviews yet, I don't think, but Jennifer usually handles that. But I can see some overlapping there.
Oh, yeah. Me and Emad have definitely talked about
Okay, good.
this, especially when it comes to like income stream analysis. I find that when I talk to people, a lot of the times they've got a bunch of different income streams, but they haven't actually looked at those specific streams of income and analyzed them. How often are your clients sitting down and looking at, this income comes from here, I get this net profit from it. And what value does that add?
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of customers, and this is what we always like to encourage, is separating out that income stream. So they'll say, there it is, right?
Preaching to the
You're not talking
choir.
about me, are you? I don't know what's going on.
I can think of at least 4 different examples, so you're not the only one. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. And, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how important it is because, a lot of people think, okay, bookkeeping, we just see how much money we made, how much money we spent, how much money were left over. But you really got to utilize and see, okay, how much can bookkeeping really help you out? And that's where it comes with income. So separating out those income streams, then you can see, okay, whether you can see which service is really breaking out the most income for you, however your business is set up and how we set it up for you. But you want to see where all those income streams are coming in, because then if you're marketing a specific type, then you can start doing ROIs and start seeing, okay, what's working, what's not working. The more data we have, the more we can do with it. And that's what we're always trying to encourage.
Well, I can see some difficulty when it comes to like there's an assumption that, well, this service brings in this much money, right? I mean, but without delving into the data, we might realize, or we don't know that, hey, this is actually costing more to produce because of X, Y, and Z, and we're not aware of that. We're just, as owner-operators, out at the front of the line, making all the sales and having a good time doing whatever we're doing, not paying attention to those type of numbers can be kind of detrimental to what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. It's always good to evaluate the numbers because we might feel something, but it's not true until we actually look at it and then see the numbers broken down. And then we can actually see, okay, this is what it really is, and this is how it's broken down. We could, for example, if there's a specific product or service that we just enjoy selling all the time, that's great and all, but is it keeping the business afloat? Is it serving the business well? Is, at the end of the day, the answer that we need to, the question that we need to answer.
There's a real big difference between gross income and net income.
There is.
And I think it's really easy to focus on gross income. But if you don't ever look at your net income, then $1 is technically a net. And people don't generally like hearing that when I say it. I'm like, so $1 is okay for you to make in your business? And they're like, no.
And on that subject, it's really sad, or not sad, but seeing a company that's grown to well over $1 million, but still having about $1 million in expenses. And so their net is still, close to nothing. And so
And mama ain't having that.
Exactly.
You
Right?
don't take home a lot. If
We got
your
3 mouths
net
to
is-
feed now. Come on.
Exactly. So it's, you're putting in the effort now. Let's actually make it provable.
Well, let's talk about how that matters when it comes to selling your business.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're being evaluated to purchase a business or sell a business, it's super important to have a accurate balance sheet and a profit and loss sheet. That's, to begin with. But also those new business owners who are buying you out are always going to look at, okay, where's your money coming from? Where's your money going? But how much is left over? And does the percentage make sense? So different industries vary, but you want to see what that net percentage is, because if it's too slim, then they know you're trying to just get rid of it because you can't handle it, which is putting them in a bad position. And so it's really good to evaluate, okay, what that net really is and how it's being achieved, and if there's potential for growth in that area.
Well, that's what people who are buying businesses are looking for, right? Because they understand all of that math and that accounting stuff that I don't really care for, but they'll be able to go in and they know the true value of a company when the owner may not know the value because they don't have their books squared away.
Exactly.
I feel like y'all been going through my emails right now. Like, have you ever been stupid on my business right now? I was looking at buying two agencies, and it was personal lines based. And I'm like, you know what? Right now it's too volatile. 3-4 years ago, there was you could probably sell for 3.5 times revenue. Now you're lucky to get 1.5, and people were proud of that. So I backed off of both of those and didn't buy them. But yeah, I was like, they've been looking at my emails because I think.
Well, do you come in when people are looking to buy a business?
You read my mind. Yes. So a lot of times if some folks are just trying to buy a business, they'll say, hey, can you help us understand the finances for this business before we actually purchase it? And a lot of times, if you're a seller on a business, you might try to hide a couple things, but at the end of the day, if you bring someone in that knows what they're doing, they'll find what's hiding, what's not hiding, if the numbers are actually accurate or not. Sometimes, a business owner that's trying to sell a business, they'll just move some money to where it's just hiding in a, cost of goods or maybe an inventory. And then you do an inventory check and realize it's really not that value. And so you're not buying as many assets as you thought you were.
Are you who they would call to do an evaluation like that?
I would be, yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that. Learn
And
something every day.
it's like a circle, right? It all comes around. It's the numbers. So it's bring me in on the numbers, and I'll be able to understand where everything's going.
I feel like numbers don't lie, but it's also like, this is going to be a really girly comparison. But you know how like they say elves can't lie, but they can twist the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like you can very easily kind of just manipulate the numbers, and then it's telling a different tale. But if you come in and you square it all up, it gives you the truth.
We all learned that lesson when Common Core Math came out, and it's like, well, you got to take 2 pages of stuff, and the answer is right there in the middle anywhere, somewhere in your math. It's there, but they hid the answer amongst all the noise.
Exactly. And it's also about asking the right questions, too. Sometimes a new business owner doesn't necessarily know what to ask when it comes to numbers.
Well, I would say also 2023 was a year that I decided that I need to be a better agency owner. I'm a great salesperson. I'm a great insurance manager, right? I'm a great agency owner to some degree. I don't understand my numbers all the way. And that's one thing that I was real scared of, and to have someone that would make you feel comfortable in that situation, say, hey, look, I'm not here to judge, I'm here to help you, and just kind of bear all. It takes a lot of courage to expose that what you're so proud of, which is your baby, and give it to somebody and go, hey, this thing is what I have, and it's not as ugly as you may think, but it's beautiful to me. Tell me what's wrong with it. And that's so great job.
It's laying yourself bare.
Yes.
It's helping while not telling people their babies are ugly.
Yes.
We don't want to hear that.
No.
All right, we got to wrap up. So great show. It goes by fast. So, Emad, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if they want to email us, you can directly email me at Emad, my name, EMAD, at SimpliBookkeeping, and that's simply with an I, so SIMPLI, and then OOKEE, in bookkeeping. People forget.
Yeah, we do.
And then best phone number is 832-518-9368. Again, that's 832-518-9368.
Thanks, Emad. All right, to wrap up the show, quick reminder to check out our latest podcast or catch video versions of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. That's going to be it for us. Great job, everybody, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.